going to bring John Smith up next. He's representing Amanda Love, our Secretary of State candidate, and share a little bit about her and answer some questions. So, thanks, John.
Yeah, no problem. Hey guys, first and foremost, I went and visited Chris Myers a couple weeks ago. When I saw him at the therapy place, he was missing a leg, you know, and I didn't take no pictures or anything. It was too little too soon, but his spirits were high. And I talked to Mary today. He's a little depressed. He's at home, and he gets cold easy, and so the weather's changing. And so if anybody would like to call him or see him, I'm sure he'd appreciate it. So the SOS race. So I don't know if you guys know, SOS and the Attorney General is in-house. And what I mean by that is delegates pick that. So people that get sent to a convention, which will be March 28th, will pick that candidate. And in this particular race, there's 4 candidates running. And 3 of them I know extremely well. And 1 of them I don't know. The 4th candidate speaks our language with constitutional rhetoric, but it might be a little fringe, kind of like us. I don't know. His name's Tim Smith. And, but there's 3 other candidates. One of them's a clerk from Macomb. The other one is a school, like a school mama person that's on social media consistently. She's pretty confident. She's a feisty Chaldean. And then you got Amanda Love. And Amanda Love, in my opinion, is the most experienced in this particular race. She worked for the SOS directly behind Terry Lynn Ladd, which doesn't really do us favors because a lot of us look at Terry Lynn Ladd as like an establishment person, but she does have the experience. She also worked in the AG's office, and she has worked with HRCC in writing laws. She's been a staffer for most of the time. She's been around for 20 years. She's on her local school board in Clarkston, Michigan, and she's the only conservative on that school board as well. And I've been running around the state with her. You wouldn't believe how many events are going on every day across the state. I think it's 83 counties, if I'm not mistaken, and there's like 3 or 4 events every day. And it's a lot of fun traveling, I guess, a little bit, but it's a little busy as well. Obviously, we have our problem in Hillsdale with the delegate situation and with with the other party. So that gets addressed at the next state committee meeting in December here. Lance has been on it. Senator Lindsay and myself will be on it. This will be probably the last time this will be brought up all together. And we finally got district on board. We finally got policy committee on board. There's a lot of people in our corner. I think we have 75%, if not greater, support of the state committee. So we have that as well. You guys, unless you're a delegate or supposedly a legitimate delegate, you won't be able to vote in Amanda's race. So I told Amanda, you know, we might have to come back to Hillsdale after December. You know, so we'll get her back down here after December. But if it should go well with the state committee, the idea is to actually everybody that ran as a precinct delegate to have the option to vote. So we're hoping the people that were shunned off that list, which is approximately 50 to 60 people here, hopefully they'll be able to attend the convention. So, but we'll see. December convention, it's still a month away. Or, the meeting is still a month away. So we'll see how this pans out. But Lance and I and Senator Lindsay's on top of it. So I'm trying to think what else was there. I think that's it. There's 2 candidates for Attorney General, and one of them protected or defended one of the electors, Trump electors. He got out early. I think he's probably the forefront winner. In my race, there's not a clear winner right now. I think, Anthony's the Macomb County clerk. He's a great guy, but he's labeled the establishment candidate, I think unnecessarily. He's a great guy. He did butt Benson. He did challenge Benson on some things. He just didn't take it all the way for a lot of the election integrity crowd. So they already kind of dismissed him. But he is well respected, and I can see him having a clear base, like all the politicians are gonna vote for him. And so he does have a clear base, but it caps. And then Monica Yatuma is the Chaldean. She's very confident. She's part of, I think it's called Great Lakes Education Initiative. She does fight for school boards and stuff like that. She's got a huge following on social media. She's been doing it for quite some time. Thousands and thousands of people across the state. She's extremely confident, which in politics, as you guys know, that goes far, and she's attractive. But she lacks any real experience. So she's gonna have a challenge with that. She did go to RNC, so the people that went to RNC are like kind of a clique, if you will, and she does attract a lot of the RNC crowd, so she has a base, but I see, she came in high, she got like a few month jump on Amanda, and I see her stock falling. And she talks real fast, 80% of the state's rural, so like a lot of rural people are like, what is she saying? Amanda lacks confidence, and that's a big seller in politics. So she's worked behind the scenes, she hasn't worked in the forefront of the scenes. So that's her weakness, and I'm helping her develop that as we've gone on. Last night in Washtenaw County, she killed it, she smoked it, and it worked out really well for her. So I'm just getting her better. The more she speaks, the better she gets at it. What sets her apart from the rest of them, they all want the same four things. Like it's kind of silly, because if you put them in a debate, there would be nothing to debate really. They all sort of saying the same rhetoric. The thing that really stands Amanda out is, one is election integrity. She's given that away to the delegate body. So the election integrity crowd that's in the delegate body will be responsible for the election. The first thing I had to do was call Patrice Johnson. She's our foremost delegate that's active in the election integrity world. And I'm like, are you the person that we put as our director? She's like, oh no, we need an attorney. And come to find out, so we found the attorney that she suggested. But the whole team, election integrity team, will be based off the delegate bodies. So I don't think that's ever been done before. And then Amanda wants to train sheriffs and prosecutors on election, and clerks and election integrity workers on election fraud itself, so that sheriffs and prosecutors can feel confident in engaging into an investigation of their own community. So if there's an anomaly, say in Dearborn, Wayne County Sheriff can come and investigate that. That's something that we haven't done. And so I think that's really the two major platform ideas that Amanda has that the other two aren't pushing, or the other few aren't pushing. So, but cleaning up the voter rolls obviously is going to be number one, and they stole the election by printing out ballots and ballot dumping and ballot harvesting. Ballot stuffing's been going on since the test of time here, guys. It's simple, and we got to stop doing it. And we got to go back. We got to stop sending out so many ballots. We got to in-person voting, paper ballots, and I don't think we'll ever get rid of the machines. That's a big argument in the Republican Party. There's a large group of people that want to get rid of machines, but I don't think that's going away anytime soon. So, any questions with an SOS race? No?
John,
Yeah.
what's going on in Dearborn, and how would Amanda address those issues over there?
You mean with Arabic people?
Well, there was some talk about there was some election fraud going on, and it was just kind of pushed under the rug.
Well, I'll tell you what, Wayne County's a big problem, just in general. I don't know exactly what you're talking about offhand, so I really can't comment to that per se. But really, honestly, the election integrity team is massive in Michigan. There's literally hundreds of people across the state of Michigan. The idea is to get all eyes on deck. But if we're going to keep doing mail-in ballots everywhere, I'll give you an example. So Anthony Ferlini is running for this position too. He's a Macomb County clerk. And Tim, I don't know if Tim you know because he's a township supervisor. But my question is, can a county clerk print a ballot, send it to a resident that gets a ballot, or they're on the absentee ballot every single election cycle, they never vote. This is common. People get these ballots and they don't vote. But could a county clerk print this person's ballot and then send it to the township as if that person mailed it to the township? Does that make sense? Does everybody understand what I'm saying? If I had a machine right here that could just print ballots, because a county clerk could just print ballots, there's no accountability for this. And say David doesn't vote, but he gets a ballot every single election. And I see that, oh, well, David doesn't return it. So I'm going to print up David's ballot here, I'm going to fill it out, and send it to the township. Do you think that's possible that happens? See, we're not fighting, one second, John. We're not fighting a left-right argument here, guys. We're fighting bad behavior. And if you got Benson having bad behavior, make no mistake, you got bad Republicans doing bad behavior too. And it just trickles down. So as far as the Dearborn situation, I'm sorry I don't know that one.
It was like a two-liner on a Facebook post 3 nights ago.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a slamming what's going on in Dearborn culturally.
Yeah.
And it was hooked onto that as being fraud in the election.
If every clerk has the potential to cheat, and I've heard even township clerks have this potential to cheat, we definitely have to overhaul this. We definitely have to have watchdogs everywhere. But absentee ballots, think about this for a second. You can have all the eyes you want. All the eyes you want. Where did this ballot come from? We have to have accountability for every ballot that gets printed. Every ballot has to have a serial number attached to it one way or another.
The comment that was made that sticks out to me now was an election official in Dearborn said, "We will take care of it ourselves."
Yeah. Yeah, right. So I highly doubt it, right? But Anthony Ferlini did tell me this is possible, guys. He's the county clerk that did challenge Benson. I think he's the only one, if I'm not mistaken. So he would know best. And I said, hypothetically, don't give me no BS. Can it happen? He said yes. So, clerk, is every clerk on the up and up? John?
One thing you have to remember too is, since COVID, anybody who put in for a mail-in ballot automatically gets a mail-in ballot, whether they request one ever again. So if they forgot that they did it, and they never get their ballot, and they never vote, there isn't anybody to complain.
We have to end like Somerset, I think we saw greater than 50%, didn't we, Tim?
What's that?
Greater than 50% are getting absentee ballots now over there,
Yeah.
or that are voting absentee.
Yeah.
Less than 15% that are sent out come in.
And by the way, congratulations on you guys' new mayor here in Hillsdale City. I know it's a small percentage probably came out and vote what? Probably less than 20% came out to vote for registered voters.
Yeah. To verify what you said, the simple answer is yes. And I know of 2 people. The individual died. He was living with relatives, actually, friends of ours, and he got a ballot.
Yeah.
Now, they could have filled it out, sent it back in, nobody's any the wiser.
No, nobody knows.
These people are honest people, they brought it back in. Why are you sending him in? Because that's the second time. Why are you sending him a ballot? He's been dead for 6 months.
Yeah.
7 months, whatever.
Generally speaking, the ballots actually get sent out for your local township clerks or your local community clerks. But can a county clerk send one out in advance? Or, to be honest with you, if you never vote and you get a ballot, it doesn't matter. And a lot of times, someone will vote for you, or a kid vote for you, and you can come in and you can still vote. And this is what's crazy. And if you look across Michigan, there's more voters than what's registered on the registered voters. So there's so many precincts out of balance. I mean, look at what you guys happened in Hillsdale. You had Allen Township and I think it was Reading. There's 2 townships here that had problems in Hillsdale.
In 2020, when the but you don't enforce the law, then the law is worthless.
Yeah.
And in 2020, we did a recount in Jefferson, the poll book was off, they signed documents
Yeah.
under penalty of perjury that it was right, and it wasn't. There was never an investigation, no one ever suffered any retribution for it.
Right.
It was all just covered up.
Well, I mean, they're more worried about arresting Lance,
Yeah.
you know, so.
Hard.
By the way, that got, what, 40 to 45,000 views? I sent it to Stuyvesant and said, really, with a question mark, and she saw it. So, yeah, no, I've been doing this for a while, and going into that last cycle, I mean, look how toxic that we are with our two division groups in Hillsdale, right? I was a part of 12 campaigns in this county, and I've seen these people work harder than any other campaigns before, spent more money than any campaigns before, put our party $15,000 or whatever it was in debt. I seen them go knock doors 3 cycles over. You know, look at Doug. I mean, he worked his ass off. Signs, text blasts, emails. We lost 11 out of 12, winning the 12th seat. I've never witnessed anything like that. The candidate that spends the most money and works the hardest wins 90% of the time. Is that fair to say? Is that fair to say to them? In most campaigns?
I would say most.
Yeah, I would say most.
I never spent a nickel.
So I had to start thinking, like, is it possible? You know, I don't want to say, I'm not accusing anybody in Hillsdale County, but is it possible? And I think it's possible. So, any other questions?
And probable.
Yes.
Well, I mean, just, that doesn't make them evil, that does, you know, listen, good people make bad mistakes all the time. It happens. You know, and as you can see how bad they want to keep the power, you see it, you feel it, you can damn near smell it. You know, you could just go look at Penny's posts. You see they just thrive on keeping the power. And you know, I don't know.
But good people can do bad things out of ignorance as well. If you look at a lot of the township clerks aren't trained to the point that they should be on elections.
Yeah.
So you've got a lot of people that come down, well, Benson said this, it comes down to the county clerk, and the county clerk said this, so we must have to do it.
I mean, we're not innocent either. I mean, like, I could assumed that Marnie Cass told Abe Dane to go into the basement of Adams Township and grab the ballots of 2020 election. I would assume that. I would assume Benson told Marnie Cass told Abe Dane to do it. Abe Dane got on the stand and said, no, I did it on my own. And I'm like, oh, okay. He grabbed the ballot, he went into a basement in Adams Township. I've never heard of this before, where a county takes over someone's election. A township clerk's election. If I was Stephanie, I wouldn't even let them in the building. So, like, if I was Mark, I would never let them in the building.
It was a problem, John. They had came and with the help of 2 Adams Township's officials taking our election equipment.
Yeah. See,
You can't run an election without equipment.
So I've never witnessed anything like this or heard of anything like this. You know, the chain of custody is broken across the board with their election, every election that they had in that basement. You know, they're intelligent people, because they seem to beat us on the crossing the T's and dotting the I's, but they didn't do that. On that day, they didn't cross the T's and the I's, but not the I's. But you know, so chain of custody's broken on all that election equipment and all that stuff, and they did it on his own. He got on the stand and testified, didn't lie, he told the truth. And Brader got on the stand and told the truth too. Like, there's no shame there.
But they don't want investigations, that's why you're supposed to keep that stuff for 22 months, and Jocelyn Benson
Sure.
is now pushing for legislation.
7
to have all that
days.
stuff destroyed in 7 days.
They want to destroy it in 7 days
You
now.
can't start an investigation in 7 days.
It sounds like a cover-up, in my opinion. 7 days?
The sad part of it is our clerk voluntarily sent the stuff in.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, like,
That's,
what did you say, Tim, when the clerk's just, well, like, giving it away? Did you say something?
oh yeah, we had words.
Yeah, I mean, like,
But Tim, you know, I didn't run Stephanie Scott as supervisor. She's her own elected official.
right.
I could say things to her,
Oh, yeah,
we could
yeah.
bring it up at a board meeting, but
He
at the
knew-
end of
he
the
knew my
day, that
opinion.
official does what
I
they're
mean-
going to do.
The
Okay,
township
and
clerk
listen,
is responsible.
and Mark, don't take no offense to that, honestly. I mean, I know when the gun's pointed at you, I get it. You know, I totally understand. You know, I don't know, I'm more reckless maybe, you know, at the end of the day, what we're seeing is associations, or we're seeing essentially orders given. MTA is a good example. A lot of people just kind of taking orders from MTA at this point, or a sheriff's association, or clerk's association. They're just kind of, everybody's just doing their thing from these associations, and because they know best. But we're all adults, and we're all responsible, and each person should guard their positions jealously. Like Tim should guard his position on his board jealously. Mark should, you know, same thing. So,
But the people of the townships also should get involved and talk to their officials.
Oh, of
And
course.
they really don't. They didn't in Adams, do they, in Somerset, Tim?
yeah,
Not a lot, do they?
No.
yeah.
Not
Yeah,
unless they
and,
get
you know,
told stories.
But let's get a clerk in there that is going to get people that care about election integrity, and let's really address this. I mean, it's kind of like, you know, the system's broken, guys. We have to fix it. And we need a candidate that